coronation of King Charles and the Queen Consort will be a lavish and grand celebration of our heritage. Lots of Union Jacks and St George's flags on that day. But will it make you proud? Apprentice star and proud Englishman Thomas Skinner faced criticism on Sunday for tweeting a photo celebrating St George's Day, with some people online saying it wasn't a good look. So are people actually ashamed of being English? Thomas Skinner joins us now, along with the broadcaster Narinder Kaur, who says it's hard to be proud of being English right now, and she worries the coronation is going to make things worse. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, that is right, I do. I think it's very hard. Unfortunately, the St George's flag, you know, we should have national pride. I feel that every Englishman and woman should feel proud, but we can't feel proud when that flag has been hijacked by far-right groups. And what it actually represents is this ideology that by some virtue of a piece of cloth that we are superior to other nations, and it conveniently forgets our history of slavery links, of colonisation, and a history of genocide and everything that we've built up. And most countries that celebrate Independence Day, because I've seen a lot of people on social media saying, well, Ireland celebrate and America celebrate. Yeah. They celebrate because they're celebrating because they've come out of tyranny or invasion. England were the oppressors. They were the suppressors. England have got nothing to celebrate because they suppress half of the world. And somehow they have this, suffer from this Napoleon-like complex.
We did save Europe from fascism by defeating Hitler and pushing him back.
But it doesn't really work like that because
it's not a fascist dictatorship taking over Europe.
No, but it doesn't work like that because you're saying, well, we stopped that, but that doesn't mean that we didn't have involvement in slavery links.
I'm quite proud of it.
It's not just saying because you're being ignorant, actually, Ed. Because there's ignorance in that. Because you're saying, actually, that, well, we saved it from fascism. We did do that. However, you also should acknowledge how much genocide and colonialism and theft has gone on in this country.
You said there was nothing to be proud about being English, and I'm saying when France was occupied and
but then you keep forgetting, but Ed,
and America was out of the war, we stood alone, pushed back fascism and stopped oppression across Europe.
But you did, but you also had a lot to do with...
We did.
You had a lot to do with suppression across the whole of the world.
You
built... No, but then are you also proud of what you did?
I'm quite proud of defeating fascism.
Are you proud of slavery links and colonialism?
No, but I'm...
Right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
You said there was nothing to be proud of.
Well, I
told you something to be really proud of.
No, that's something to be a bit proud of. But then you're conveniently forgetting about slavery and colonialism. So you don't seem to want to talk about... It's fingers in ears and blown raspberries. We don't talk about that. Let's talk about the one good thing we did. And, of course, you should be proud of that. However, but you don't seem to acknowledge that. It's that kind of ignorance that I don't like,
I'm not sure what...
I get a lot of that.
Why am I being ignorant?
Because you seem to be very proud of the one good thing.
No, you said there was nothing to be proud of, and I said we defeated fascism.
No.
I've not forgotten it at all.
But you didn't
We were talking to David Harewood yesterday on the programme about
You've conveniently forgotten slavery and colonialism.
But Narinder, are you saying, sorry, and Thomas, I know you're quietly
I'm just over here
waving your St George's flag. Narinder, are you saying that because the UK, England, and was responsible for things for which we should be ashamed, that we should be permanently ashamed?
Not permanently, but I don't like this fingers in the ear, blown raspberries, so what, we actually defeated fascism.
No, but
I don't like that.
Clearly Ed is not putting his fingers in his ears. I think we all totally acknowledge.
But the answer is always, well, we defeated fascism. It's kind of weird.
The question is...
It's a weak reply.
You said there was nothing to be proud of about being English, and I thought, shall I say we won the World Cup in 1966? And I thought, no, why don't I say that we stood alone and defeated fascism in Europe? I'm quite proud of that, that's all.
You had America's help in that anyway.
Well, I mean, finally.
Going back to Susanna's question...
Took a bit of prompting.
You shouldn't permanently, but, however, you can't always dismiss it. And we can't have this attitude.
Dismissing it.
They do dismiss it.
I'm not in favour of dismissing it.
As a woman of colour, I'd feel in this country that St George's flag represents, to me, far-right racism and bigotry. And actually, we should be proud. What we should be proud of in Britain is actually we are diverse, we are multicultural.
Shall I tell you
and the good people of Britain will always want diversity and multiculturalism.
Absolutely right.
And that's what we should celebrate.
Totally right. But aren't the good people of Britain also represented by those flags?
No. Well, actually, sadly, no. Sadly, that flag needs to be reclaimed by moderate voices. Moderate voices need to be louder than the far-right voices who say, oh, waving this flag...
No,
I think you're wrong there. I do think you're wrong there. Like, listen, just because a few people have hijacked the flag here doesn't mean that for everyone else throughout the country should not be proud to be English or British. Like, I love that I'm from England.
What are you proud about, Thomas?
Everything. Fish and chips, cups
Great.
of tea, going to work.
I love it.
Everything about England I love. Stonehenge, we've got beautiful history as well as bad history.
They seem pitiful reasons compared to the bad. We have a Home Secretary that dreams about sending...
I just
probably,
think...
if St George was alive and came to this country, he'd be actually sent to Rwanda right now. We have a Home Secretary we don't welcome asylum seekers. We are not being inclusive. And I think Britain is about including people. Yes. It is about diversity. And that's what we...
exactly.
But we're not seeing that.
Of course it is.
Well, I don't see that as a woman of colour.
Part of our problem is that St George never came to England, which is
he would have been.
He's a complicated figure.
He would have been sent to Rwanda had he come
but he's our patron saint. He slayed a dragon. Like, let's celebrate him.
But Thomas, do you agree that actually the flag, if I see the flag, many people see the flag, it has been hijacked really sadly by far-right groups. You can't wave that flag.
That doesn't mean that
the argument you are making is totally disaster.
It would be
it's a disaster.
It would be to
Shall I tell you why?
I'll
tell you why. Because I was a member of Parliament.
Yes.
In the constituency, which had not only a British National Party councillor, but the largest BNP membership in the country. We had a St George's Day. We had a St George's Day parade every year with all the primary and the secondary schools because we said we will not allow the English flag and St George to be taken by the far right. Stop it being a BNP thing. All of us owned it in our community because we were proud to be English, proud of the flag, proud of St George, proud of defeating fascism, all the things you're saying we should be ashamed of.
No, I'm not saying you should be ashamed of that, and I think that was a great thing you did, but those voices are too low. We need louder voices like that. But actually, you're saying...
You were just laying into me.
No, because because the straight argument you went to is, well, we defeated fascism.
We
That's
did.
always the get-out-of-jail card.
We did.
You can't keep getting out of jail card. And actually, I do worry for the coronation.
In no sense is that a symbol of
you know what that is?
nationalism or racism.
That's just kind of ignorance to me, because you're waving it around, and I feel it's...
Don't start with me.
People.
Listen, look, I'm proud to be English. I've come in here to say that, yeah. There's a million things. Like, I don't think that just because of a few wrong-uns that are far right...
It's not a few wrong-uns, it's a lot.
Listen, the majority of people, should be able to be proud of where they come from. Like,
they should.
We ain't letting them take it away from us.
I don't think you should encourage nationalism.
We are.
You should
encourage. Proud.
We've had Brexit, Windrush. There's a lot that actually...
So
the younger generation...
OK, so what... Because you say, as a woman of colour, you don't feel that this flag represents you, or that there are...
It's not inclusive.
Yeah. So what is your proposition? What would make you feel proud to be British?
I think all the moderate voices, like Ed said he did do, we need to become louder and actually celebrate. St George actually is a representation of multiculturalism, and he's a representation of tolerance.
Born in Turkey.
We should be more of a tolerant country. We are not that these days. We are not showing tolerance. The far right, and not even the far right, people are so much against asylum seekers, refugees, they're taking this, they're taking that. But let's celebrate.
But if you give the flag and patriotism and St George's Day to the far right and say we're not going to touch it because that's something we're not proud of, that is a catastrophe for our country, and we have to own it together.
It's outdated.
We can be proud of the things which we achieved together.
We can, but let's get a new flag, because that one is outdated and it represents far too much negativity in this country. I think we need a new day. Did anyone celebrate St George's Day? I mean, the turnout in Trafalgar Square
in Morley, there was the big parade of school children.
Turnout in Trafalgar
Will
Square.
you celebrate the coronation?
Actually, no, because I think the monarchy... No, I'm sorry. Right. I think the monarchy represents...
Have they gone as well?
...represents colonisation. They need to give back all their stolen jewels.
Narinder,
I will not be celebrating.
Okay.
I feel sad. I do want King Charles to do the right thing. I feel he can do the right thing. I think, yes, I would celebrate that, of course.
Good.
But I think King Charles, who wants to be defender of all faiths, I have faith that he may do what his mother didn't do.
Armed forces?
OK. Yes, very proud, of course.
The National
There's lots of things I am proud to be
Fish and chips.
British.
Remembrance
I love fish and chips. I am dying.
Last night of the proms?
No.
Oh, come on! Come on!
Narinder, thanks very much indeed, Thomas. Thank you very much.